Hey everybody, my name is Maddie. I'm one of the physical therapists here at Rogue, and I am here to share our exercise of the month for January. We're entering a brand new year. Last month in December, we focused on a theme rather than a specific exercise. And if you saw our video or one of our members, we focused on the concept of amplitude, moving big, right? So when someone has Parkinson's, their movements are going to be smaller and slower. So we really wanted to focus on amplitude in all of our classes and everything that we do to really move with purpose. So we are taking that concept and moving into the new year with voice production, with amplitude of our voice. So whether you are aware or not, if you do have Parkinson's, speech can be something that is affected. There's two components of your speech that can be affected: the volume production, so kind of the softness of your voice, you're going to be talking a lot quieter, but then also there's another component of clarity. So sometimes people might say that you're mumbling or they can't really understand exactly what you're saying, and that is more the clarity. So both volume production and then clarity is affected. So we want to focus in classes and in our daily life to be able to speak with purpose, speak with intent, right? To be as loud as possible, to walk in a room and say, I'm going to speak as loud as I can. I'm going to introduce myself. I'm going to have nice tall posture. I'm going to puff my chest out. And so in classes, we are counting well with the instructor and everything like that, but we want to just put an extra emphasis while we're here at Rogue in person. We're counting nice and loud. We're talking with other members. If you're joining us on online classes, you can be counting in the comfort of your own house, saying things out loud as well. And then in your daily life, right, when you're communicating with friends and family, taking that extra second to remind yourself, I am going to speak as loud as I can. I'm going to speak clearly. Maybe you have to slow some things down to really make sure that you're enunciating the words. If you kind of are like, okay, where do I start? I've never done speech therapy, whatever it is. We have a speech therapist here at Rogue. She does not do in person. She only does online with us. Her name is Stephanie. She is fantastic. A lot of our members love her. We have speech class every Tuesday and Thursday. It's 2 p.m. Pacific time, but if you are, on Central, or it'd be just 2 hours ahead. But Tuesday and Thursdays afternoon for speech class, you can log on to Zoom and you can participate in speech exercises. So part of Parkinson's is this lack of the production of dopamine, right? So the lack of dopamine actually affects the lack of your volume and the ability to project your voice. And then another part of voice that it affects is your ability to have the clarity, right? So we talked about that clarity of where people are saying that we're mumbling a little bit. So being able to move your jaw, move your mandible, move your tongue, all of that motion can become a lot slower and you have less of the precise movements. So therefore the clarity of your speech is affected. So Stephanie goes through a protocol called the Speak Out protocol through the Parkinson's Voice Project. And you get this nice book that you go through a bunch of different exercises. So they always start with the warm-up exercises just to warm up the vocal cords, try to really improve that vocal volume. They're going to do a bunch of different things like sustained awes to really have that breath work, to work sustaining your breath for that long. They'll do some glides where they start up really high and go down low, and they kind of go back and forth. That really just stretches out the vocal cords. So if you're interested in more information, you can always call or email one of the instructors here, talk to Claire about getting into our speech classes. Stephanie really talks about getting ahead of the game, right? Because Parkinson's is a progressive neurological disease that as soon as you're diagnosed, getting into speech is going to be great because it's nice to get ahead of the game and to really already start working on those vocal exercises so they become more muscle memory and we can improve our jaw strength, our tongue strength, all of that to help with speech and to help with swallowing. So join us for this month of January as we really focus on speech. We are all going to speak with intent. We're going to make sure that we can enunciate everything that we're saying so that when you're with friends and family, we are not, they're not saying, what did you say? Or can you repeat yourself or things like that. We're going to try to speak as loud as we can. All right. Thank you guys.